Alright, so now I'm going to show you a quick walkthrough of the import-export features, essentially from scratch. So here I have a clean VM with nothing installed. So I'll start by putting my browser and navigating to SQLAzureLabs.com, whack import export .aspx. And this page has conveniently laid out all of the MSIs that I will need to install in order to leverage the import-export features through the DAC framework. You can also download the MSIs directly by querying for SQL Server Denali CTP3 feature pack page. Top hit on Bing leads you to the feature pack page where all of the MSIs I'll be installing are directly available. The SQL Azure Labs website just has a direct link to them. So I'll quickly run through all these installs. The only ordering dependency here is that you have to install the CLR types before shared management objects. And then here's the DAC framework itself. And DAC needs these other libraries in order to correctly script T-SQL and connect to SQL Server. And obviously the system CLR types are necessary for operating with system CLR data, such as spatial data types. So I've installed all the MSIs now. So the last thing I need is the EXE, which we provide as a reference implementation over the public APIs. Here's our CodePlex site, and if you click on the download section, you'll see a service client here, which I'll cover in a later video, and the client-side tools download here, which has the sources which you can download and take a look at how we're implementing all of the public interfaces. And then there's the actual EXE itself, which is what I'm going to download now. Note that you'll need both the EXE and the configuration file stored somewhere. I'll be putting it in a folder on my C drive. So now I've downloaded everything that I need to get started with import and export. If you actually install SQL Server Denali CTP3, again available directly from Microsoft, if you download the CTP3 and install SQL Server Management Studio, it will install all of these dependencies automatically. So all you have to do is download the EXE, and then you can import and export using the exact same libraries. So next, I will connect to the Windows Azure portal. And I skipped over my username, so you don't know what that is. And because I'm connecting for the first time, I need to change my quota and take a look at my databases. This will be the server I'll be using today, which already has a sample database in there, which is approximately 150 megabytes in size. So at this point I'm ready to use the EXE to export this database. So open up a command line window, move to that folder. There's my EXE. Now the EXE itself has some help that shows you how to use the EXE. We also have documentation up on the CodePlex site, but here are some example commands that you can issue to the EXE to export and import. What I will do though is paste in a pre-built command which will export that database to my local drive to this folder. So let's get started. And as was mentioned in the blog post, what DAC is doing here is going out and picking up all of the schema objects from that target database first. There we see that the export has successfully completed. So let's go take a look at our new file. There it is. And similar to the DAC pack, I can change the file extension to be a .zip and then browse the contents. I see here that I have the same data as the DAC pack, and then there's a data folder that's storing all the data for my tables. Take a look at person address real quick. I can actually take a look at my data. And I'll just open it with Notepad. And there I can see my data in plain text. Now obviously the file format's compressed because it went from 150 megabyte database to a 26 or 25 megabyte backpack. And so there you see I've exported my database to my local client in the backpack file format.